which Swamiji will be taking questions, and before that we will quickly go through a introductory round so that Swamijis will know who are the participants here and to organize the classes accordingly. So today, Wednesday, December 24th, we have this orientation, and then tomorrow, December 25th, we start the day with 7 o'clock meditation. All classes and meditation, everything happens in this main lecture hall. So it will be here. So it is 7 o'clock, 7 to 7:30, and then breakfast will be served in the main dining hall over there. And then the other first class is at 9 o'clock. The significance of Om in Vedanta by Swami Muktaatmanandaji will be there. And 11 to 12, Vedanta and meditation, where Swami Sachidanandaji will be taking that class. Then again 4:30 to 5:30, again Swami Muktaatmanandaji's class. And the day ends with 7:30 to 8:30, Satsang. So this is the standard format all the days till 30th. And 31st we have a new schedule. But if you look at the schedule, tomorrow, majorly all the classes, including meditation, Satsang, Swamiji will be taking it. And then on the alternate days, like 26th, Swami Sachidanandaji will be taking the meditation and all the classes except the 9 to 10 class, which Swamiji will be taking. Like that it is scheduled. All the days, if you see, the alternating is like that. So, with that kind of a setup, actually, there is error, I think. Let me check again. Yeah, so this is the format we'll be having it till 30th. And on 31st, we have guided meditation at 7 to 7:30. And then 8:30 to 9:30, we have the first class, which is switched by, in the format like Swami Sachidanandaji will be taking, which is his concluding class. And then the course concluding class at 10 to 11 will be done by Swami Muktaatmanandaji, followed by Guru Dakshina. And we have given the temple schedule as well. If you look at daily morning, we have 5:15 Ganapati Homa, Lagu Ganapati Homa happens in the Homa place. And then 5:40 is the Rudrabhishekam to Lord Dakshinamurti all the days. And then afternoon Aarti at 12:15 to 12:30, simple Aarti and Naivedyam. And daily evening Aarti at 6 o'clock. So you will get to attend all these and also the classes. And we keep open the coffee and hot water and the tea facility in the near the temple, also on the corridor, as well as the one over here in the lobby, as early as 5:15 in the morning. And then the breakfast will be served as usual after the class, and 12:30 is the lunch after the afternoon Aarti. And tea, coffee, water is always there, but we've given a 3:30 time. But only one request is dining hall generally is closed for cleaning between 2 and 3:30 p.m. And then in the evening at 10 o'clock, we love to close the lobby as well. So if you all need any water or hot water, you can pick up and before that, so that the cleaning staff, the housekeeping and the kitchen staff can attend to the cleaning without any disturbance to you and also to them. For the people who are with the children here, we have given the children's program also, and they were already having their orientation now in the yoga studio. So they have been divided into 3 groups, if you look at it. So based on their age, they will fall into that group, and they follow a typical schedule. And they do have additional snack time both in the morning and the evening compared to the adult classes. And they actually, on tomorrow evening, there will be a gifts presentation to children by Swamiji's here at around 8:30 after the satsang is over. But on December 30th, the kids will present whatever they have learned in this 1 week here on this stage. They will present to the Swamijis and to the parents and the audience. So that is one thing we would always recommend all the parents, and also who have been here, who are here attending the class without the kids also, to come and encourage them, because the kids will love to do that, and all the time they have a lot of fun with that activity. So we would kindly request all of you to participate on that. So that will be on December 30th after the satsang again at 8:30 p.m. And on December 31st evening, whoever is staying back, The kids will have some sort of a talent show before we go for the welcoming the new year. So I'll come to that part a little later. And yeah, so we have given the general information about Dakshinamurti temple, and then the Swamijis who are our resident acharyas in the booklet. And other general information is generally we would love to tell, being the winter time and it is much easier sometimes. Please watch your steps whenever you are outside walking inside the premises or coming to the dining hall or going to the temple. We try to keep clean as much as possible and salted the surfaces all the time. But you never know when the temperature drops and then goes up and it melts and those kind of thing. And if there is any real significant weather event, we will try to inform you in advance and have any procedures if we need to follow for that particular time or the particular day. But right now, there is some prediction, I think, on Friday or so, but we are not 100% sure about how the weather is going to be. So when we come closer, maybe tomorrow, we will be able to give some information about it, if at all, if anything needs to be shared on that. So, and also the same applies to the kids. Even though the kids are taken care by to Swaminis and Brahmachari, Pradyatma, Chaitanya and Lance, always kids, sometimes go on their own or the parents are away or whatever. So just take care of them, or also please instruct them. They would have been told now clearly how to be in the winter time, but please inform them from your perspective also. And also during the night time, after the whole session for them is over, please make sure they are back in your rooms. Because in summertime, sometimes they are out all the time, but now hopefully they themselves won't be out. But we would recommend the parents to kind of inform them as well. And coming back to the December 31st, before that, again related to the weather and the temperature in the room is always maintained in the warm temperature. We would try to keep it, it's all in a geothermal kind of a setup, so it has been fully controlled from a software perspective. But sometimes there can be some lows, some highs, and we continuously monitor during the occupied time, and try to keep it at a good temperature for everyone to attend the class without worrying about, shivering cold here inside. But still, we would generally suggest if you can keep a sweater or your jacket or something with you handy. Sometimes that will help because when we set up the temperature, if suppose for some reason it goes down, when we try to reset the whole thing, it will take little time to the temperature to catch up. So that time it would be helpful. So if you can take care of that, that would be really helpful for that. So on December 31st, the course ends with the Guru Dakshina at the lunchtime. So whoever have registered and to plan to stay only during that time, you would be checking out after the morning class, and then after lunch you will be, I think, driving out, or you are looking to go for your flights. Whoever planned to stay back, or you change your mind now to stay back or something, please let the office know as soon as possible by tomorrow. Because there are many people who are in the wait list and also who wants to come for the new year. They would be, happy to come and be here if the accommodation is available. Since we have reduced accommodation this time due to the construction work going on and the demolition of the 24 rooms, we are kind of tight in the accommodation situation. So if you have your plan changed either way, please let us know as soon as you know, so that we can work through that logistics and keep everyone informed. So the December 31st in the afternoon, 3 o'clock, the Dakshinamurti Moola Mantra Jabam will start, which used to be in the morning. This year it is scheduled for the afternoon because that day is a Pradosham day. So following the Moola Mantra Jabam, the 108 Kalashams which is used and the puja done for the Kalashams will be used for the Abhishekam to Dakshinamurti at around close to 6 o'clock during the Pradosham time. And the Pradosha Abhishekam and Alankaram and all will happen. And after that, the Prasadam will be served here in the main hall. And evening after that, At 11:15 p.m. till midnight, Swami Sachidananda Ji will be leading a chanting and bhajan session, and including will be playing Puja Swamiji's Om Namah Shivaya, which is always a thing we do here, where people are allowed to be part of it. And then at midnight, we'll have midnight Aarti to Lord Dakshinamurti to welcome the 2026. And following that, on January 1st, at 9 o'clock, we'll start the New Year puja thing. So whoever have sponsored, either who are here or who have sponsored, who couldn't come here in person, we will do the Sankalpam for them and for their families, for all the details what we have here. And then we do the Maharudrabhishekam to Lord Dakshinamurti, and then followed by the Pushpa Abhishekam we kind of do with the Ashtotram, which normally we do, but on the number January 1st we do much more in a bigger way, I would say. So that will end with the lunch prasadam on that day, January 1st. So if anyone has plans or anything changed, please let us know. And so if anyone is interested to sponsor also for the new year, it is $101 for the Sankalpam on the day, and then the prasadam will be given. Or if you are remote who are watching now, you can also participate by going to our website. And also if you are in email, we have sent the links where you can directly online pay, or you can call the office and pay for the sponsorship. So all the course materials are here, which is self-explanatory. I wouldn't be going through that right now. And so with that, I think I'll hand over to Swamiji, and then we will have mics here to give general introduction. After when Swamiji instructs, we can go ahead with that. For any other general questions for now, let me know. Otherwise, you can reach out us in office, and most of the camp time we will be there from morning till late evening. So anytime you can reach out to us. Yes, Premji. No, it sort of overlap. Yeah, because they have their schedule, if you look at, they start the day little late, obviously. They assemble at 8:40 in the temple. So by the time our meditation class would have been over and breakfast would have been done, so they might be joining the parents for the breakfast, and then they go back to temple to assemble normally. By the time 9 o'clock class will come afterwards, and then they will be in a different format. All the three groups, one group will be in chanting, one will be in a values class, one will be in a yoga class. So they do have all these three. And then depends on what kind of the presentation they are going to do on December 30th. So they will have practice sessions after 1 or 2 days when the Swaminis and they decide which group is going to do what. So they will have some rigorous practice sessions, and then with 29th or 30th, they even have a full dress rehearsals here before anyone see in the afternoon. So, and parents are aware, all that, yeah. So they will have a different timing. Yes. Yoga class, as such, we haven't planned fully as per the schedule. If there is enough interest, we would be able to see, because Lance, who conducts the yoga class, is also handling a part of children's youth program. So if there is much interest, I can check with him, and then we'll see if we can able to squeeze in some time, because in the adult schedule you may have some time between 3 and 4. I can see that, because the 4:30 class is in the afternoon after lunch, 11 to 12, and then lunch break, and then 4:30. But if you look at the children's camp, they do have continuously scheduled, and I'm not sure whether they also have the yoga studio available, but I will check with Lance, and then if he and the locations are available, we can definitely organize that. Yoga? Okay, sure. I'll do that. Sure, I'll talk to Lance tonight itself, and then we can bring that in. Okay. Thank you, Swamiji. Hari
Namaste Swamiji. I'm Vishweshwar. I came from Virginia, Swamiji.
Namaste Swamiji, I'm Vaijayanti from Virginia.
Hari Om Swamiji, I am Bharti from New Jersey.
Pranam Swamiji, France.
Pranam Swamiji, my name is Ravindra and I'm from Colorado.
Om Swamiji, I'm Kanak Patel from New Jersey.
Pranam Swamiji, my name is Indu. I am from Jamesville, New York.
Pranam Swamiji, I'm Suman Mishra from Harrisburg, and I've been coming here for many years, more than 15 years.
Namaskar Swamiji, Neeraj Joshi from Windsor, Canada. My first time here, I'm very looking forward to the next few days.
Thank you.
Hari Om Swamiji, Krishna Subramania Murthy from Potomac, Maryland, coming for the last 2 years.
Hari Om Swamiji, I am Chitra Krishnamurthy from Maryland. This is home away from home.
Hari Om Swamiji, Vijay Lakshmi from Maryland.
Namaste, Swamiji. I am Nagi Naganathan from Maryland.
Namaste Swamiji, my name is Karthik Shivashankar. I come from Austin, Texas.
Hari Om Swamiji, this is Venkatesh Guru Prasad. I'm from Pennsylvania here. This is my 4th year attending camp. So.
Hi Swamiji, Hari Om. I'm Karthik Shankar Ramanathan. I'm from New York. I came in the summer for the first time in many years, and I've been fortunate to be associated with this Gurukulam for a long time now, and I feel very blessed to be a part of this. So thank you, Swamiji.
Namaskar, Swamiji. Good to see you. I'm Aruna Kilanani. I'm from New York, originally from Michigan, and I've been coming here since I was a kid, 11-year-old.
Welcome back. Namaste, Swamiji. I'm Bharadwaj Kadiyala. I'm coming from Salt Lake City, Utah. This is my first time here, so looking forward to it. Thank you.
Hari Om Swamiji, I'm Sunita Chaudhary from New Jersey. We've been coming here for several years since we moved here about 23 years ago, and it's a pleasure, a blessing to be here always.
Namaste Swamiji, Bharat, also from New Jersey.
Namaskar Swamiji, I'm Vikram Asher. I'm coming from Pittsburgh, and I've been following Arshvidya teachings from last 25 years. Thank you.
You see?
Namaste Swamiji. The children and grandchildren brought us here this time.
Namaskar, Swamiji. Good to see you. We've come to see our grandkids performing too.
Pranam Swamiji. My name is Rupesh Pantalat. I am from Michigan, and this is my first time here.
Hari Om. I'm Ashish, coming here for 3 to 4 years now.
Namaste Swamiji, my name is Hanu. I am coming from Toronto. We have been coming from last 3 years. Almost we attended summer camp and winter camp continuously, so hopefully we'll come again.
Namaste Swamiji, I'm Srini from Boston. We have been coming with our children for many years. So we have attended your camp for many years from now. Thank you.
Hari Om Swamiji. I'm Sri Vidya from Boston. I've been associated with Arsha Vidya Gurukulam from my young age in India, Tamil Nadu, Anakatti Ashram. One of Swamiji's, Puja Swamiji's student, Swamini Brahmalilananda, used to be in my hometown, and she taught many things. So I've been associated for many years. Thank you.
ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. So instead of a question answers, I just would like to introduce, give introduction rather to Vedanta. Because question answers sessions we have 3, right? Tomorrow evening, then again, and then again. So I would like to introduce this. Should we study Vedanta or not? That's a question. You should have told this thing before we left. We should study because we are interested in freedom. The word which is used in Vedanta is a moksha, but really it is a freedom. One loves freedom for no reason. If you ask, you will say, Swamiji, I love freedom because I don't like bondage. You may say that. But you love freedom. That's for sure. Nobody has taught you that you should love freedom. Nobody has taught you should not love bondage, but you should love freedom. Nobody teaches like that. You are born with this, a love for freedom. Vedanta, the study of Vedanta offers 2 types of freedom. One is a relative freedom. Freedom from past. Freedom from psychological past. So, freedom from basically, ultimately it is freedom from undesirable, naturally. Freedom from undesirable means freedom from bondage. What is bondage? Well, whatever I don't want to have it, but I could not get rid of it, is bondage. Whatever I don't want to have it, but I could not get rid of it, is a bondage. That's what happens the person when he is in jail. Right? He doesn't want to have these shackles, but he could not get rid of it. We call bondage. So freedom from bondage. So freedom from what I don't want, I mean which I don't want to have it, but I could not get rid of is bondage. Vedanta offers a first level of freedom, freedom from this type of bondage. Basically our conscious waking life is full of failures. disappointments, guilts, hurts, and other emotions which give pain. All these are born. This entire thing is born from my past experiences, right? One has a disappointment from certain incidents in life, a sense of failure because certain thing happened in life, guilt, hurt because you have done something which you should not have done, or hurt something because somebody has done something. In past means anything, yesterday, 2 hours ago, or anything. So basically, our conscious waking life is full of all this. And all these things, I don't want to have it. But I could not get rid of it. Right? Disappointments come, sense of failure come. Basically, guilt and hurt, no one is free. No one is free. I should have done that, I should not have done that, etc., etc. And hurt also occurs on almost a daily basis from somebody's behavior, this, that. So we basically carry from the past. It's all there sitting in our mind. That's how I say it is a psychological past. And none of them I want to keep it. None of them I want to have it rather, but I could not get rid of it. Vedanta basically promises this first level of freedom. Yeah. A relative freedom. Freedom's born of certain emotional pain, certain emotional immaturity. Vedanta offers that. Anyway. And why? But it belongs to past. Yeah, it belongs to past, but you carry forward. Our present, we are really not living in present actually. Our present is affected by that past. Yeah, it is affected by the past. Therefore, in past, all these things have given pain. And that past is carried forward in present. Therefore, present also, in present it is giving more pain. In fact, nobody lives in present. Most of the time we live in past, or we may have a fear of future pain. That's what we have. And therefore, basically, one really wants to get rid of it. No one likes pain, emotional pain. But it is there. Anyway, so I want freedom from that. Vedanta says, well, I can help you. May I help you, sir? You know, in India we have, outside the police stations, may I help you, sir? Yes. Yes. Yeah. And that part of Vedanta which helps in this is called Yoga Shastra. Wonderful. Bhagavan said several places. This is our psychology. Vedantic psychology is this, handling these things. Disappointments, hurts, guilts, and as I said you, this failures. Everyone has experienced failure. Need not be in a certain endeavor. Even in trying to change a person, you find sometimes you are failed. Right? It happens in everyone's life. And basically all this are nothing but manifestation of our unfulfilled ragadvesha, desires. Unfulfilled. At any stage in a human life, I am having several desires from the childhood onwards, and you find that certain desires are fulfilled. But much more than that, there are unfulfilled. Unfulfilled desires at any stage in a human life outnumbers fulfilled desires. If fulfilled desires outnumber unfulfilled, wow, that would be wonderful. But one desire gets fulfilled, 10 more are there which are unfulfilled. And those desires are not for material, etc. We should not make this kind of a distinction, material desire, spiritual desire. Desires in general. Desire with respect to society, desire with respect to politicians, desire with respect to religious leaders, Desire with respect to certain my personal desires. All. Few are fulfilled. Unfulfilled desires, they create all these issues. Disappointment, anxiety, worry, sense of failure. And Bhagavan knows this. So, this emotional immaturity is born of this unfulfilled desire. It creates a pressure within. And you are helpless to fulfill because it is within your hand to fulfill everything, but you cannot. Therefore, that helplessness builds up. That manifests in the mind with respect to these emotions. That's how Bhagavan said, Indriyasya indriyasyarthe ragadvesho vyavastito tayoho vasham nagachet tauhyasya paripantino. Same thing Bhagavan talked there. Kameshah, Krodeshah, Rajoguna, Samudbhavaha, Mahashano, Mahapapma, Vidhi. Arjuna, may you know, Enam, Vairinam. They are your varies. They are your enemies. Trividam Narakasedam Dvaram Nashanam Atmanaha. Kama Krodas Tatha Lobha. All the way. Bhagavan pointed out what are the things which give you emotional pain, because of which I am called emotionally immature person, is nothing but this. Not just pointing out that, Bhagavan gives a solution also. Very beautiful. Yogasthak kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyoho samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Well, I'm teaching you certain attitude in a life. Certain attitudes, healthy attitudes, which will help to tackle these issues. And will give you a relative freedom. Freedom from emotional pain. That freedom is centered on mind, emotions. And if one has certain emotional pain, well, one should learn from it. And this learning, well, should be, it is in terms of uplifting oneself. Suppose physically some part of me is giving me pain. Definitely it draws my attention. Same way some part of the mind, the emotions, well, has a pain. All this, which I told you, well, they draw my attention. And I should definitely learn from it, right? I should learn from it. So Vedanta helps the person in order to gain this freedom. A relative degree of emotional maturity is very essential. Well, in order to make clear the knowledge which we are going to talk about in these few days, which will give you absolute freedom, which we call moksha. If you want clarity in a knowledge, well, one should have, along with pursuing the knowledge, one should have a certain emotional maturity. These things are there in the mind. Disappointments is there, regrets is there, failures are there, anxiety, worry is there. One will not be able to assimilate the knowledge what one receives. And therefore, well, definitely this Yoga Shastra, a life of dharma, prayers, and meditations, healthy attitudes, certain values Bhagavan has taught in 16th chapter, 13th chapter, all these things together, well, will make the person grow emotionally, which we call as a life of yoga, which will give you a relative freedom. So one who is emotionally mature basically is one who is able to manage one's emotional life more or less with a certain composure. And not only that, one will improve one's image also, self-image. Yeah. The person who has this life of yoga will have a much more acceptance of oneself. With the values, if he follows, he or she, and the certain healthy attitudes if he has, well, definitely he will have a more, he will have or she will have a better self-image, relatively a more acceptance compared to the person who is totally immature. No one would accept oneself when one sees oneself as an angry person. No one would accept oneself as a totally, acceptable person when one has a jealousy in one's mind or one has anxiety in mind. At that time, you don't evaluate yourself as an acceptable person, right? And therefore, basically, when these things are not there with the life of yoga, one will have a better self-image, which will help ultimately to know oneself, which will give you an absolute freedom. So this is regarding first level of freedom which Vedanta offers, right? Relative freedom. Freedom centered on mind, emotions, etc. It means it will make you emotionally mature. Second is a freedom which is an absolute freedom. That is freedom centered on I. Or we can say freedom from past, present and future. First one is a freedom from past, psychological past. This will give you a freedom from past, present and future. Yeah. So, well, here also there is some bondage. Yes. And Vedanta offers this ultimate freedom from that bondage. What is the bondage? Well, limitation of time. Well, I find myself helplessly insecure. I find myself helplessly time-bound. Helpless. Everyone wants to live, but you find that, well, you are born in certain time and will go in certain time. So you find yourself a time-bound, and which will give you insecurity. You don't want insecurity, right? You don't want yourself to see insecure being, but you can't get rid of it. So basically being bound by various limitations, including limitation in time, etc. also is a bondage. Now the question is, who is the person, who is that who feels this bondage? Vedanta discusses in this way. The physical body does not feel bondage. Physical body does not feel insecure. Yeah. Physical body doesn't feel insecure, neither does the mind. Mind is basically instrument, it is simply a means in the hands of the person. Therefore, the mind or body, etc., don't feel insecure. The person, the individual, the ego, well, feels this bondage, insecurity or other limitations. So no matter who the person is, and wherever there is I sense, there is a sense of bondage. Wherever there is I sense, that is where the bondage is. So that I want to be different from being what I am. I am insecure and I want to be different from what I am. And therefore, that is also a bondage. I want to be different from what I am right now. I am insecure. I want to be different from that. It's bondage. So in Vedanta, we say a life of becoming. A life of becoming is a life of bondage. And I can't but struggle to become, because I can't but struggle to become because I am not acceptable to myself as I am now. Therefore, I have to become something else, which I think will definitely change the situation. And therefore, I struggle to become ultimately that person who is totally acceptable to oneself, who is totally free from limitations, etc. If I feel limitations and I continue to feel limitations, well, then I want to become someone else, ultimately to become free from all the limitations. Could you follow what I'm saying? And therefore, suppose I become that person, let's say, in terms of health. I want to have in terms of wealth, let's say. I want to achieve something, so I will feel no limitations, so far as wealth is concerned. I gain that wealth, suppose. In terms of health, or so anything else which I want to accomplish, and I have become that. Well, once I gain that, afterwards, once again I find that I have to become. So, well, basically, no one is free. So freedom from this constant attempt to become, from becoming itself, is called moksha. Moksha means ultimate freedom, freedom from this bondage. That bondage is nothing but a process of becoming. Every time I want to become something, feeling that once I become that, I will be free from all limitations, free from all want. That day never comes. So ultimately, our freedom from this constant attempt to become, means from becoming itself, when we gain freedom, that's called moksha. Well, when one eventually comes to recognize that freedom from becoming cannot come by becoming something, right? Freedom from becoming cannot come by becoming itself. Then, I become free from being a limited person. When I'm limited, and if I see myself, if my valuation of myself is always a limited, then any becoming will ultimately not help me. So all the features about myself are found limited in my assessment of myself. All the features. I will tell you some of the features. And then you will see that, whatever you do, ultimately you struggle to become something, you don't become free ultimately from this wanting or becoming. Anyway, so if I look myself as an individual ego, it is this ego is like our whole discussion on few days will be on this ego, the individual. So if I look myself as an individual ego, then it is like a compartment. When I look at basically myself from one standpoint or the other, you always find that you are limited. You basically become wanting person. Any aspect. First is from the physical body standpoint. Individual means I will say I am a human being, let's say. So from the physical body standpoint, in terms of health, in terms of strength, in terms of color, in terms of weight, in terms of height, I am found wanting, limited. In terms of pervasiveness, limited. In terms of time, limited. Swamiji would have been better, we would have come to Vedanta a little earlier than this. People say that. So in terms of time, you are wanting, limited. In terms of mortality, wanting. So being subject to old age, wanting. Subject to death, wanting. So look at that. I am an individual. I have several compartments. One compartment is I am looking upon myself as a physical body. I am wanting. Whatever you do in terms of strength, still you are wanting. Whatever you do in terms of weight, health, anyway, you will not be satisfied totally. No. Never. That will continue. Then in terms of mind, another aspect as an individual. If I look at myself from emotions, emotion-wise if I look at, I can't command a cheerful mind all the time. I want. So I'm all the time wanting a cheerful mind. In terms of knowledge, I'm always wanting. In terms of my capacity to remember, I'm always wanting. And what I want to recollect, when I want to recollect, at that time it doesn't come. Yeah. And when the person goes away, the situation goes away, then memory strikes me. So this is what happens. And not only that, certain time you don't want to remember now. Right? Certain time you feel that now you don't want to remember that. Certain incident. It keeps coming. What you want to remember doesn't come. What you want to forget, that keeps coming. In terms of your storage capacity, you want a storage capacity more, you are wanting. So as an individual ego, either from physical body standpoint, either from the standpoint of intellect, either from the standpoint of a memory, either from the standpoint of emotions, you are all the time wanting. Right? Am I right or wrong? Limited entity, wanting. Anyway, then well, in terms of my own partial viewpoint, I see myself wanting. I always wish that I had not done few things in my life because I feel guilty of committing that, because it has hurt some person. And you always feel that you should not have done that. You are wanting. What is that wanting? This thing should not have happened, but happened. You wanted not to happen. It has happened, right? Then I wish I had done few things. I had omitted, which I omitted. Then that could have made the situations better. But well, I have not done. Certain things I have done which I should not have done. Certain things which I should have done, did not do. Right? And so, why did I not do the right thing? Well, why did I do the wrong thing? This is all guilt. So this individual being has this guilt. This is also there. Then, well, there are hurts also. Why did others not do the right thing to me? Why did that person, do this thing to me? Why did this person did not do a certain thing to me? Well, so there also you are wanting. So in terms of guilt, hurt also, I am wanting. Wanting in the sense, I wish I had no guilt, hurt, but they are there. They are there. Could you follow what I am saying? And so, this wanting all the way, which is called an individual. Definition of ego or individual is this: wanting in all the compartments, either in terms of a physical body, in terms of a mind, in terms of your intellect, in terms of your memory, in terms of a guilt hurt as a doer, and as an experiencer you have hurt also. So basically, I am found wanting all the way. Even I am found wanting in relationship. I wish my mother would be and I wish my mother was different. I wish my wife was different. I wish my husband was different. I wish my daughter-in-law would different. You just think. Vedanta addresses this issue, and we will call the bluff of the whole thing. Swami, why you are discussing this all our issue? But that is the bluff. Vedanta has the guts to tell all this thing is just a bluff. Yeah. All this is the issue with us. Yeah. Vedanta addresses that issue, the fundamental issue. Could you follow what I am saying? So that's how I am defining ego. Ultimately, to call ego a bluff. Anyway, so money-wise, relationship-wise, I see myself always wanting, in fact. Always. But this wanting person doesn't like to be wanting. It is not natural. Why? Because I cannot have a sense of want centered on myself. I and a want, limitation, I can't stand that together. So, and therefore if I see myself as a wanting being, a limited being, well, I cannot accept myself totally, and therefore I can't see both of them together. And so what I do is, since I see myself as a wanting being, I feel I have to fix up this problem, situation, being a wanting person. And what I do is, I fix up certain things outside in the world. With the people, with the objects, definitely I fix up many things. So I try to fix up this and that, fix up the world. And well, the question is, can we finally fix all these things up? Can we finally fix all these things up? Well, no doubt. Well, we have to do certain things, but nothing seems to really stay fixed up. There is no final fix-up. What we do, in order to fix up, whatever we do leads to certain situation. We feel now it is over. But that situation basically continues. It has a need further to fixing up. This is how the life is. And so, it's a never-ending process. Once you take yourself as an individual, with all this compartment as yourself, physical body, mind, senses and everything, the memory, then you see that, well, you are basically struggling continuously. This is what we call samsara, a struggle. What is a struggle? I want to become something so that I will be free from all these limitations. Right? So therefore struggle is okay, but without an end to the struggle, it's not a struggle worth making. Struggle is okay. Ultimately, we are struggling to bring an end to the struggle. And if we could not bring an end to the struggle, then that struggle is not a worth making struggle. So, but I can't give up the struggle because I see myself as a wanting being, and therefore, and I cannot accept myself, so I continue to struggle to become something, right? So I can't but struggle, and I begin to see the uselessness of the struggle also. That struggle, whatever I struggle in my life, well, doesn't bring an end to the struggle. And therefore, I can't but struggle because I see myself, I can't accept myself, so I continue to struggle, become something. And I begin to see the uselessness of the struggle also. So basically, in life, after certain years, one is just getting on in one's life. One is just getting on in one's life and not really living life fully. So there is a struggle without meaning. Right? This is called bondage. I want to get rid of it, this struggle, but I can't get rid of it. Could you follow? Yeah. So there is a struggle without meaning. That's a bondage. Vedanta says, Vedanta actually recognizes struggle as a meaningful struggle. What's the meaning Vedanta gives for this struggle? That the struggle is meaningless is the meaning for that. Struggle is meaningless? Then what? If struggle is meaningless, then what will I do? Because I can't accept myself. I have to become something so that I can accept myself. Because I see all the time with all these compartments, physical body which is limited. I take this physical body as myself and then continue to struggle. I take the mind as myself and continue to struggle. I take the intellect and continue to struggle. I take myself to be a doer, experiencer, enjoyer, continue to struggle. And therefore, Vedanta recognizes this struggle here as a meaningful struggle, and the meaning Vedanta gives is that the struggle is meaningless. Means what? If struggle is meaningless, means what Vedanta wants to convey? In order to solve your basic problem of sense of limitation, you need not struggle. That's why Vedanta says struggle is meaningless. Could you follow what I'm saying? Vedanta says this struggle to become something ultimately so that you can accept yourself, become free from all limitations, well, that's a meaningless because you can solve this problem without struggling. That's why struggle is meaningless. Yeah. And therefore, you can solve this problem that I'm a wanting being, limited being, etc. You can solve this without really struggling. If without struggle, well, I have to solve the problem, then the problem would be only one thing. The solution for this problem will be in terms of ignorance of oneself. Because if I am a limited being, this will continue. Struggle will continue. If Vedanta says there is no need to struggle in order to get rid of all limitations and accept totally, fully, as yourself, then basically I may not be knowing who am I. Could you follow what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. And if one has to look into, one has to look into this and understand what the self is. So maybe the self is not the one that you think you are. The self that you know right now is just a composite entity. Body, mind and everything. It's just a composite entity. So that's how you evaluate. In terms of hearing, you say I'm hearer. In terms of seeing, you say I'm seer. In terms of emotion, you say I'm angry. In terms of another emotion, you say I'm anxious. In terms of another emotion, you say I'm jealous. In terms of hunger, thirst, etc., you say I'm hungry, thirsty. Right? In terms of doing something, you say I'm doer. In terms of experience something, you say I'm an experiencer. Compose it. Could you follow what I'm saying? In terms of knowledge, you say I'm engineer, chemist, this, pharmacist, this. Compose it. Composite entity. That's our understanding of ourselves. So anyway, so minus or stripped of all that, Vedanta says, see yourself. But Swami, I would like to tell you one thing. If seer is not there, I will not be there. Hearer is not there. Doer is not there. Experience is not there. Angry person is not there. Angry is not there. Jealous is not there. Hungry is not. There is no person who is hungry, etc. All these composite things we remove. I also will go away. No. The basic I remains. Right? In a one situation, when he sees, he becomes a seer. If he stops seeing, the I do not go away. Suppose I close my eyes. I am no more a seer. I go away or seer goes away? Seer goes away. If I am not able to hear, hearer goes away. I go away? No. So the basic person I, who takes various roles, you can say. Seer, hearer, this, that, etc. In terms of emotion also, in terms of hunger, thirst also. That basic person, well, definitely continues. And so, we'll be seeing that. Just this introduction. So, well, a basic self must be there. And perhaps that is the self which you come across when you drop all this. And yet you are a happy self. Seer is not there in deep sleep. You are very much there. You don't say this sleep belongs to someone else. You say sleep belongs to whom? You. You only went to bed. You only got up. Right? But in a deep sleep state, you are not a seer. You are not a hearer. You are not anxious. You are not jealous. You are not hungry. You are not thirsty. You are not doer. You are not experiencer. You are not engineer. You are not... All these things are not there. And in deep sleep state, you are a happy self. That's how we are ready to dive into. At any moment, we are ready. Most inviting experience in one's life is this deep sleep state, where all these composite entities are not there. Perhaps that could be the basic self. Could be. Perhaps. If I itself is not there in deep sleep state, you would not wake up and say it was my sleep, right? You say, I experienced a deep sleep. You say that. I experienced a deep sleep. You know that there is no new I has arisen when you wake up. It's the same I who has gone into the bed. But all these are not there. Therefore, this all, we are not saying they are false, etc. But they may not be the intrinsic to the I. May not be intrinsic. Seer is there, I am there. But when seer is not there, still I am there. Therefore, I am seer is not an intrinsic thing. Could you follow what I'm saying? These are incidental. And you evaluate yourself on incidental thing and struggle in your life. In a waking state, you evaluate yourself in terms of your memory, in terms of your knowledge, in terms of your emotion, in terms of your physical body. And struggle to change color, struggle to have a different number in terms of weight. If 4 pounds or even 2 pounds increase in weight when you weigh it yourself, it's just 2 pounds. You are 2 pounds heavy, but your heart is 80 pounds heavy, I am telling you. 80 pounds heavy. I see certain people who are working in gym. Every week they measure and they become happy when they lose even 430 grams. Wow. The person says, well, I eat only rice and chicken and I'm trying hard. But only 430 grams. But I'll prove. In next week, I will definitely get it off 2 pounds more. Body is definitely heavy. But I'm a conscious being. Take the physical body as one of my compartment, as myself, and then struggle to become with a less weight. Ozempic and this and that, so many things are going on. Yeah. That will never end. What will be the weight which you consider as an ideal and then you feel that that's it now? Swami, I am totally free now. In fact, you will be more cautious after reducing, I am telling you. There is a more struggle involved in keeping the things as it is, which you know that it will not be, because that is not the law in the world. Every time body is changing. You can't keep your complexion same, you can't keep your look same. Nothing in the world is stationary for a moment, I'm telling you. Everything is within bound of time. And time is devouring everything. Every moment. Things are changing. And therefore, if your evaluation of yourself as just an individual with all these compartments, the struggle will never end. In fact, you want a struggle to end. You are struggling to bring an end to the struggle. And that end of the struggle is this, that while I am acceptable to myself as an individual totally now, that day never comes. Never comes. Could you follow? And therefore, so one has got to look into this and understand what the self is. Maybe the self is the one, what I think of right now may not be the true. Self could be just opposite. But somebody, the whole humanity says, I am a physical body, I am mind, etc. Who are you to tell us that this may not be true? My point is, reality is not determined by majority. Reality is not determined by majority. If one invention, scientific invention is done 500 years ago, one invention done by one person, Copernicus, whole humanity was saying that it is a heliocentric world, right? It's a geocentric world. Earth is in center and sun is moving around. Everyone was saying, entire humanity. One person came, but he was real. He was true. Yeah. Therefore, Swami, everyone who is born here says, I am physical body, I am an individual, I am ego, etc. I am a limited being. I am subject to birth and death. I am a doer, I am an experiencer. Everyone says, ask American, ask anybody. And therefore, well, that is true. No, sir. Whole humanity says the sky is blue. But if suppose one person who discovers a scientific invention, the whole thing is bluff. This is how it is. So what I experience, that I am body, etc., and therefore that is the reality, I am the body, that is the reality, need not be. That's what Vedanta says. You are struggling ultimately to gain freedom. Centered on I, you want to have a freedom. Freedom from time, freedom from all these other limitations. Well, that's absolutely possible without struggle. The problem is born of self-ignorance. And therefore, gaining the knowledge of the self is the solution. Right? And that's what we are going to pick up tomorrow. That I am the one who is not compartments, not made up of parts, body, mind, this. I am basically a whole. That's what you will find a statement in Mandukya Upanishad, second mantra, that we'll be picking up. Once we'll complete that, we'll go to Omkara. So before that, because Omkara has directly connection to this, and therefore, first we'll see tomorrow this part, I am Atma Brahma, that is a statement there. I am whole. I'm not a limited entity, I'm limitless in terms of time, space, everything. I'm a whole, etc. How it is, we'll see that tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.